Hey guys, welcome to Aiming Up with Kenneth and Trey. This is episode 15. I think we're both kind of in this position together where we're thinking about the future of the podcast and reintroducing the podcast to our audience, as little as it might be right now. We're trying to make sure that the focus is sort of known so that when people listen to the podcast that they can understand that there might be different topics that come down the road. And like the title says, it says aiming up. And so really that doesn't necessarily apply just professionally for us or personally for us, but we're looking at all the different aspects of our life, which can kind of apply to the things that we do as coaches or even business people. But it's like, how can we aim up in every aspect of our life, whether that be spiritually, whether that be in our own fitness journey, whether that be in our own business, whether that be in our family, and all the different attributes and aspects of that, and how does that translate to the day in, day out life of a person, and how can we contribute to the betterment of the audience and maybe give a different perspective of how to kind of approach life as a whole when it comes to aiming up in general. So Trey, I guess we kind of just get started. And I think
How you start?
I think I'll, like, when I think about aiming up, this year has been a really interesting year for me. If you were to interview me last year, at this time, my business was not where it is today. My business has grown, which I'm extremely grateful for. My family is in a different position than they were last year at this time, in a much better position. And what I mean by that is like just the depth of love and the depth of security and the depth of care that we all have for each other, me and Donna and Landon. I think that kind of grows over time when you go through certain trials or tribulations or, various different things. I even look at Trey and my relationship. I think we're closer now than probably we've ever been. And I think that has a lot to do with aiming up in terms of our own relationship. I mean, there's times where I can mince my words or I can miscommunicate, and Trey can kind of do the same thing. And if we're not sort of aiming up with each other, then we could have a falling out rather than having a sort of a positive outlook on each other and know that our heart for each other in our own relationship is actually, it's for the same common goal, and that's to increase the relationship for the betterment for the both of us. And it's also to like hold each other accountable and also to sort of walk with each other as brothers in Christ. And so when I look at my life and what God has done in it, because that's going to be part of it, is this spiritual journey that we have as individuals, but also maybe what we come across, or maybe we have a speaker on or something like that. And I think it's such a cool thing to be in this opportunity to kind of talk about all the things that we want to talk about. That's what it's going to be about. And who knows, like, I just heard a percentage of podcasts out there. If you make it to episode 21, you're in the upper 1% of podcasts in the entire world. Can you believe we're almost there? It's like, I mean, if you think about that, like, we've got 6 more episodes and now we're in the upper 1% of podcasts, because most podcasts don't make it past 21 episodes. So, and we just got a lot of feedback from our last episode with Jake, which, man, I sometimes I'm like, maybe we can talk him into like coming on a regular basis because he's so cool to talk to. But I think I'm just excited to kind of reintroduce us. I'm excited to kind of put a brand to it. We put an Instagram on. We're changing the YouTube channel. It's got your name on it right now. We're going to make it Aiming Up. We're just gonna have some fun with it, and we're gonna have some cool guests. We've got some some people coming up, and you know, to talk about me in particular. Everybody that's maybe following me on Instagram is really aware that I'm in a bodybuilding prep, and the last time I did that was in 2013. So I was 30 years old, and Trey, you've done that, and I think the experience that I had when I was 30 years old was I was going through a divorce, and the divorce hurt more than the bodybuilding prep did.
Yeah.
And so, but now the bodybuilding prep hurts. It's like, because the rest of my life is pretty good. And so, it's been this spiritual journey of sort of dying to my flesh. And what I mean by that, for people that don't know that Christianese jargon, when you fast, like fasting is a good example. When you fast, you have to control your emotions. You have to manage your hunger and continue through the process of fasting, because it's the choice that you made. So as a Christian and a follower of Christ, I've made a choice to follow Christ. And if I follow Christ, that means I have to die to myself. I have to die to my own flesh. I have to die to my own wants. And part of the practice in which I'm doing that right now is through the bodybuilding prep, because Austin Stout's my coach. Shout out to Austin. And he tells me what I eat. So there's no me in the decision. I have to make the decision to follow the meal plan. Well, luckily I've been doing food and all that stuff. I can kind of make my own food choices, but I'm still restricted in calories. And when I have those restrictions, there becomes, significant challenges when the hunger rises. So as everybody knows who's ever been hungry, there's hangry, the anger attachment to your hunger. And so as you're moving through life, and you got your wife, you're hanging out with your wife on the couch, and you're hungry, and then you got a little angry because you're hungry, and then your wife might have something going on with her, and she's maybe a little emotional, and so then that kind of ticks up that emotion a little bit. Then your son walks in the door and somebody's picked on him or something, and you got all these emotions kind of rising up. So you have to make the choice to either follow in the emotional sort of let the emotions take control of you, or you kill that. You decide that you're going to do the opposite of what your flesh is trying to tell you to do, which is to lash out in some sort of emotion. So controlling my emotions, and really taking those thoughts and those feelings and taking them captive, and taking them to God, and giving them to God in prayer, and also just spending time in the Bible in the mornings when I can, and make that a practice that sort of sets my day straight. And I'm doing cardio in the morning, so I'm going out in the great outdoors with my puppy dogs with Vasoburn on my butt. And if you guys don't know what Vasoburn is, that's a product that was made by the late great Matt Porter, that brings blood to various stubborn areas that you're trying to lose body fat. And so the burn is real. It causes heat in the area in which you put it. It is currently on my butt right now. It is burning, just so you guys know. And so that's also sort of like dysregulating, right? You're sitting here in a podcast, and you're literally sitting in what feels like a burning seat. It's a little uncomfortable. And if you smear it on the wrong place, it's a little too spicy, if you know what I mean. A little bit more sensitive area here or there. And you don't really realize it when you initially do it, because the viscosity isn't very thick. And then next thing you know, maybe you got a little drip on your finger or something. You touch your eye, and you're like, wow, should have used gloves for that, right? So, there's a lot of challenges that people don't understand. And, it's funny too. There's a moment where you're in prep and the calories aren't bad. And like, if you've been around like me and Trey, man, like you can eyeball. I mean, I still weigh my stuff, but like you can eyeball stuff. You know what stuff looks like. You know how much you're gonna eat and whatever. And so like, I'm eating big old bowl of oatmeal, right, rocking and rolling, and all of a sudden, Austin's like, "We're cutting calories, bro." And I'm like I'm so emotional that I can't even like. I don't even know that I'm actually having this conversation with Trey. And Trey's probably like, why am I having this conversation with Kenneth? And it's because I'm so dysregulated. I'm like, I need volume foods, Trey. Like he's Chat GPT or something. And he's like, just switch all your fruit to strawberries. It's not like I didn't know that. But at the time, in the moment, I didn't know that, right? In the moment, I'm extremely upset at the fact that the food that I just ate took 2 minutes to eat and digest. So, if you ever see me take photos of my food and post it on my Instagram, there's going to be strawberries in there. Because guess what? Like 400 grams of strawberries is only like 40 grams of carbs. And that's a big old bowl of strawberries. And we might chat about that later in a different episode, food volume. However, so there's all these areas, like even in that moment, I'm aiming up, right? I'm like, how can I approach this with the best possible thing that I can approach it with so that I can stay adherent on my diet, because I'm in a really challenging spot because I used to have this much food and now I only have this much food. And so, what's also challenging is when you are tired and you're exhausted and you have all that stuff going on, but you also have clients that you have to get back to, and maybe they're having bad days, and you're there for them. They pay you to be there for them, and maybe I don't always have the best days. And I try to be transparent about that with my clients and also apologize when I need to. With my wife, I just try to make sure that I'm aiming up in the process of like making sure that I don't talk to her poorly if I'm hungry and I don't really realize I'm hungry, because there's moments where you don't really realize that you're hungry. And, I remember one day she was like, do you have any meals left for the day? And I was like, no, I don't have any meals left for the day. But there was no reason to say it that way. And I didn't know I said it at the time that way. And then later on she was like, hey, by the way, you said it this way. And I was like, oh gosh, that's terrible. I shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware. And so the point of what I'm saying is there's all this opportunity for us to aim up. And I even think about like this beautiful thing we call time. And we all have limited time, and we don't know how much time we're going to have. It's all up to God. All the hair on our hair is numbered, and the days of our lives are numbered, and He knows them. And I've really begun to value the time with my family in a tremendous way through this process, because it's taken me away from certain things that we do in regular rhythm. So like cheat meals. Friday nights, we used to do cheat meals, and it's something that we just enjoy. And sometimes me and Landon, we go ham, and sometimes we don't. But sometimes it's just Mom makes chocolate chip cookies. And bro, let me just say, talking about aiming up, Donna makes the best chocolate chip cookies in the world because she's just good at everything she does. But legitimately, if I gave you some, Trey, I don't know that you'd be following your plan. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is I'm missing out on chocolate chip cookies, And so I got to find a way. How do I aim up and still spend time with my family and connect with my family? Guess what they do? They go on walks with me. Isn't that great? Like the cardio aspect of it, they actually share it with me. And like Landon might get on his bike or whatever. And I get to spend time with my dogs. And, you know, I get to do this thing. I get to have the attitude of, I get to bodybuild. I get to be competitive at 43 years old and have this physique that, let's just be honest, the 13-year-old version of me is like kind of freaking out about. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember being 13 years old. You probably don't know this. You're probably too young. Do you know the store Structure?
The what?
The clothing store Structure?
No, that definitely wasn't.
So it used to be a men's department that was the opposite of Express.
Okay.
And Express was like solely women's in the mall.
Yeah.
But now Express, I think, is like men's and women's. But Structure was this like manly man store. And every dude in every single picture was jacked in like a polo shirt. And I remember like watching, like looking at this picture in this store with my dad. And my dad goes, if you ever wear a dress shirt like that and you look like that in a dress shirt, you're jacked, bro. And I just remember being like, I want to be like that. I want to look like that. I want to look like that in regular clothes. And daggone if I haven't made it. You know what I mean?
Right.
43 years old. Living the 13-year-old dream, baby. That's aiming up, right? So, you know, and then from like a business perspective, like I'm looking at the opportunities that I have to really try to understand and help my clients. One of the challenges right now is like, how do you get everybody on the same page on understanding just the choices that they make and like why they make them and what are the motivating factors behind those things? Because, you know, I have professional bodybuilders and I have 70-year-old women and everything in between. And I see this consistent thing that pops up where people aren't necessarily doing what it is that we're trying to do. And I'm trying to figure it out. And I think I figured it out. Donna told me today, I think. I don't know that I want to share it because I might have to post it on social media. But it's one of those things where I'm taking this time to really try to look at my business and my service and my care for my clients and trying to bring it to a new level. I'm trying to bring my ability to be a father to a new level. So last night, and I don't want this to be all about me, so Trey, like you got to talk next. I'm just saying. Good. So, super hungry last night. And Landon is gone for a week. I'm kind of emotional about it. I got it right here, so just kind of bear with me. It's tough when he's gone for a week. We share him 232. And man, I'm gonna miss my boy. And I'm hungry, and he's asking me about the morning. He's like, I have calls, and I have to get my training in. I have to do all this stuff, and man, my morning's been packed. And I'm looking at my calendar, and I know you can relate, Trey. Your calendar looks so much crazier than mine. But I was so dysregulated with my hunger that I couldn't make a clear conversation with my wife and my kid about whether I was going to see him before he left or not, because I was going to potentially have to go to the gym early, and then I had all these other things I got to do. And so I just took a moment, and I went and took a shower, and I just let me just chill out for a minute. And my intention, I knew that Landon was really concerned about whether he was going to see me tomorrow or not. And so I remember being that way when I was a kid. Like, I don't know if I'm going to see my dad in the morning. But my dad never turned back around from going over to take a shower. He would just go to bed. And so I turned back around after I took my shower, I opened the door, and he was still awake, and I knew he would be because he was concerned. And I said, "Hey, buddy, I'll see you when you wake up in the morning." And Donna told me that he had the biggest smile on his face, and he rolled over and fell right to sleep. And like, I'm trying to be really intentional and aim up in areas where it would be really easy to drop the ball as a father and think it's something simple, but trying to be as intentional as I can in my kiddo's life, right? And I mean, I think we're both trying to do that in our wives' lives, right? And like, any way we can kind of see where maybe we're missing the mark or something, you just take a minute and you try to right that ship. My pug, he's just turned 13 in May. And bro, like, puppy dog lives are so precious. And I just try to hang out with him as much as I can. And he's like snoring right beside me. So if there's any like little wheezing, snoring noises coming through, that's what it is. But I love it because one day I'm going to miss it. And so I'm trying to always aim up and think, how can I really just be present in the moment? And then, as we're talking about this whole thing and we're trying to find positive avenues to talk to different people and things, I'm on Facebook and I'm watching people review food like it's my part-time job while I'm on prep, bro. And it's not like, I'm not even really like craving the food, but man, if I don't love watching somebody eat something good and tell me about it. Isn't that strange? That's strange, isn't it? Like, that would be like if I came to visit you and I was like, "Hey, Trey, let's go down to that great place that you guys go to every week. And I want you to sit in front of me and I want you to eat that burger and tell me all about it." It'd be so weird, right? But that's what I'll do for 10 minutes or something. And I'll kind of catch myself. But I'm like, you know what? When I get out of prep, I'm going to have a little food review Instagram. And I'm going to review food because it's fun. And I've already videotaped Landon having Mexican food the other night that he ordered off of DoorDash. And like, we're going to make it a whole family thing. And so that's going to be something positive that we do. Not only for like the restaurants in town or wherever we go. Like, I'm going to road trip it to see Trey, and I'm going to eat food all the way there, and I'm going to record myself eating it. And so I'm going to have fun with this life that we have. I want to have fun with this life. And I think, we get into this crazy place where all these coaches, they talk about their business and if it's growing and how much money they're making, or like maybe like what protocols they're running or what knowledge they know or whatever. And we just lost all the fun.
Yeah.
In the whole thing. It's like, even I think what was fun about talking to Jake was it was just fun.
Right. Yeah.
Like, he had a tremendous amount of knowledge and it was blowing people's brains, everybody I've talked to. But it was because it was Jake. It's not because of the knowledge. Jake's a fun guy. Right? And so it's like when you have good, genuine, fun people in your life and you want to perpetuate that. And I think the more positive outlook we have on life, the better people actually perform in the things that we want them to do. And even like having these really genuine, honest, sort of little vulnerable conversations, they get to see like the real Kenneth, right? Like, so a lot of my clients know who I am. But like, then there's some that maybe they're not as like connected or whatever, but they get to listen to the podcast and they get to hear my crazy self-talk. And maybe that's good and maybe that's bad. Sometimes you're like, bro, it's bad. It's like, we need to, you're done. But at the end of the day, I just want it to be a good time. And if we're talking about like dude, you know what I want to do? I got a fire pit. There's a client up the street from me, and I was visiting him, and he got a fire pit, and he was like, I got this extra fire pit. You want to take it home? I'm like, heck yeah. So I got this little $60 fire pit that I put in the little, right outside our screen and porch. I'm going to put a daggone fire in that thing, and I'm going to make some s'mores, bro. You know? Like, let's bring back the young version of ourselves and like have a little bit of a good time. And then like let's go be serious and do good things too, but like let's live a little. So, how are you aiming up, bruh?
Geez, I feel bad because you were saying everybody's talking about their business because that's kind of like,
No, but that's what you're focused on. I
yeah,
don't feel
yeah,
bad. I
yeah,
honestly, I'm so freaking proud of you. Like I can't even like I might get emotional about it because you're kicking
yeah.
butt so good.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, like business wise, it's going good, like with like coaching, but I'm trying to find other ways to, I guess,
Diversify your
expand.
portfolio.
Yeah, yeah, I guess, yeah, build wealth, whatever term you want to say, and do other things that doesn't require as much, maybe emotional energy, and
Mhm.
maybe I wouldn't even say passive because it still requires a lot of mine and Valerie's time, so it's far from like passive stuff, but it's how can I have something that maybe isn't as much limited on my time. Like when it comes to clients, I don't like to be more than like 40 or 50. I think we're at like 45 or something like now. I don't personally like that number. I prefer to be at like 20 because then I can really put what I need to in those clients and it's not pulling me from other areas. And that
Mhm.
doesn't mean like fire people or don't take on people on. It's just that's a preference for me and just for the amount of time I put into clients, it's like I feel more comfortable with less clients. But since we are at that point where I would consider max amount I would want to work with, it's like, okay, well, then how can we expand business wise without taking more time from me in the long run? Like initially, it's requiring way more time. I think like now my days are like get up at 5:30, 5:45, go to bed at like midnight. It's like Monday through Friday is like that, and then Saturday it's like maybe work to like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah, you're grinding.
Yeah, it's back to like how it was when I was first building the coaching and training side. But I know that's just a short term thing to get things going, and then I'll be able to pull back and create maybe other opportunities for other people. Or,
You still working with Jake and getting your body composition right and all that
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
too
So,
while you're
I mean, like the last month, it's been tougher. Um, I'm still training like 1 to 2 times a week. It's just been tougher. If anything, I just under eat, and that's fine because we're just trying to lean out anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But that's something that I'm trying to rework now as a new schedule again because obviously the roles have changed. So I guess aiming up for me is really on the business side with like I can talk about it here. I mean, basically it's helping the collective supplement co. So David Bryan's company and Luke Weston's company and helping them move the manufacturing to the US and then that's where Valerie and I will be in charge of like the US, Canada, and then Europe. And then they will cover the rest. So it's been a lot trying to get manufacturing up and running, but also we're looking at redesigning the labels. So that's been requiring a ton of time on my end to
you've
work on
come up with
that.
some really cool stuff too. I've been a
Yeah.
little privy to some of what he's doing, and I like the direction you're taking it.
Yeah, like select the labels, and then it's like we've been trying to expand different manufacturers. So that's a lot of time to make sure the formulas are how we would like them to be, and testing. And it's like because the manufacturers can give us the purity testing, but some of them might not test in house, and I don't want to test in house. I want to test outside of house. That requires a lot of time. So instead of having things ready to go in May like we were supposed to, it's probably July or August most likely, and it's fine. It'll be right now. The U.S. can still order from like Australia, and we're express shipping everything
That
to get it
seems
here.
like the name of the game with supplements, though.
Yeah, it's just not it's a grind. It really isn't an easy job like you would think.
Hmm.
So it's like doing that, and then
What are you drinking, by the way? Because it looks like a wine bottle.
sparkling mineral water. Sparkling mineral water. When Dave was here, he got me and Valerie on it, so we've been
What's the
drinking
brand
nonstop.
of it? It looks.
Saratoga.
Do you
Yeah.
remember? I don't know if you ever drank much, but in college, I would drink Sky vodka. It looks like Sky vodka.
No, it's Saratoga. It's strong. If you
Okay.
get a bottle of it, it's strong.
You
Um,
mean like it's like real fizzy?
but the carbonation is like way like if you were to compare it to like S Pellegrino, it's way stronger.
So
Like the
when
amount of
you do you
bicarbonate.
like that?
I'm doing it more from the benefits. So, like if you're looking like sparkling mineral water, it can help with like cognition and hydration. That's more of what I use it for. So like I start
Okay.
my day with a liter of it every morning, and then
Is it hard to
sometimes
get it down though?
not really. I mean, it fits filling, so it helps with me because I don't eat until like noon or later, so it doesn't really.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I use it with everyone that diets because it just allows us to do it.
Where do you
That's a
get
little
it?
trick. Just Kroger, grocery store.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, you can get a liter of it. Saratoga. I love it. It's way better than S Pellegrino. But yeah, so it's just working on that, and then like we're rebuilding the affiliate program, and that's my job, and we're redoing the website. That's stuff I'm doing. I've taken over the me and Valerie have taken over the social media side for the collective. So that's like a lot of stuff going on, and then it's like that's just one project, and then the second project is a joint and injury repair gel that I'm doing with someone else, and we're testing it out.
I'm
And
super excited about that, by the way.
yeah, yeah,
Did you
like
get your boy? Did you get your boy a sample?
send me. Do you have any aches and pains?
All over.
Text me your text me your address. But here's what the deal is: everyone I'm sending it to, you have to give me a written and a video review of it because that's what I'm using
Oh,
to
well,
market it.
you know I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. Just text me your address. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I'll do
yeah.
that.
So like that's another little project, and then there's a couple other projects I've been working on that I've been keeping under wraps, and that's all just to like be able to expand, be able to help other people in other ways. Because like at the end of the day, within coaching, we're limited with how many people we can help with time. So then
Right.
in my mind, it's like at least with these side projects, it's gives us the ability to help other coaches help more people. So in theory, I can have a hand in that. It gives me a way.
Are you mentoring many people right now?
Just one or two people right now. I haven't really been
Yeah,
advertising it.
I've got two. I don't really
Yeah,
advertise mine either.
yeah. It's they're clients though. They turn into
That's what
yeah,
happened to me too.
yeah. I never advertise. I just say, hey, if you want help, we'll change your stuff. Um, so it's like that's a way that I can help other people without me actually coaching them. It's like they have a reputable product. They have something reputable they can use. If with this topical gel, it's something like for like my mom or my mother-in-law where they're not going to do what I tell them, but if this can help them where they don't have pain, cool,
Yeah.
then that's a way of me helping without requiring too much of time that I might not always have. So that's kind of what the priority is right now. And the hope is to get that going to where I can pull back. I would like to have a family like you. I would like to be able to go on more vacations. And when I say vacation, I mean travel, just more time to rest and decompress and like spend time with Valerie or just time for me to spend some time on things I enjoy or some other projects that I
Hmm.
want to do. And that's
What
kind of
would
like,
be one? What would be something that you? Because that's an interesting conversation. Quick, because if somebody, so if we were on a game show, I feel like I know you fairly well, right? Like you're one of my closest friends. So, but I think we'd probably not win the game show if it was like, what does Trey like outside of work, or what does Trey, like I know some things because I've just been
yeah,
around for a while, but
yeah.
like if you had to say the one thing that you'd want to do, because I'm going to give you one that I'm going to do that I'm going to tell you about. But what would be the thing?
So it's like, if it's not like me and Valerie doing stuff together, if it like we're talking just me, I like fishing a lot, especially like fly fishing. So like this year, I have all the equipment. And it's a lot of money on how much has been spent and given to us, like to be able to do that. I would like to take time to do that, and then
Just go up to the mountains and do it
I could just go down the rivers right down the road from us.
down the street. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not even about catching anything. The way with fly fishing is it's not. It's kind of like a dance.
right.
It's super relaxing, and it's like I don't even want to catch anything. It just allows me to just mindlessly do something. Because for me to decompress, I have to actively be doing something because then my brain is always work mode. So I'll be thinking, oh, we could be doing this. And it doesn't have to be work. It could be house. It could be whatever. So that's one
Making something
thing. And
more
then
efficient or something.
yeah, and then the other side for me is in my free time. If I'm not doing anything, I play video games with one of my best friends. He's a client.
Right.
We just play MLB The Show. Me and him always
Uh,
joke we would love to do a Twitch channel of me and him playing because we say a lot of funny stuff, but we have this third guy, Steely, that plays with us. And this dude grenades and loses his shit. You can hear him through the microphone. Valerie can hear him on the other side of the house. So it's like that's something I truly would enjoy doing because it gives me a way to connect with a friend that lives far away.
yeah,
Used to be a training client in person, but it also gives me something to do that maybe I'm not like having to use my brain as much. It's really just hand-eye coordination at that point.
yeah.
And we can laugh when we get stomped or we can have a good time regardless. That is like something else like me and him always joke about, and Valerie says we should always do as well, is like if me and him did a Twitch channel, it just allows us to just show the different side of how we both are. Because that's a side of me most people don't see that. They usually see the work side, whereas Valerie is one of the few that actually sees like the joking side that kind of chills out. So that's
Yeah,
where,
it's nice when he's around. He's a
right,
funny guy.
right. So like it'd be that, and then just spend more time with the cats. Like we're getting two kittens, and I think we're getting a third one, so we'll have five cats now. So
Yeah,
it'll be
and
nice
keep.
to be able to play a role with them.
Yeah, I I'm working on a survival itinerary, sort of like uh, what would it be like a syllabus, sort of like it for me and Landon
Yeah,
to do in the summertime.
that'd be
So
cool.
like I'm gonna like how to build a fire, and like we learn how to build a fire, and then he'll get maybe a badge, or maybe we think of something else that he gets, or like he learns about knife safety and he gets his knife at the end of it. That all that type of stuff that like I learned as a Boy Scout. Boy Scouts is it's a little
It's
strange
strange
group
now.
now,
Yeah.
and so like I don't. That's not really my style. Like there's no more like it's Boy Scouts, but girls are there. It's weird. Did you know that?
Oh no, it's inclusive now, so it's just scouts.
Yeah, it's really super strange. It's super strange. Like it's completely different than what it used to be. And so now there is a faith-based one, and I forget what it's called. And it looked really interesting, but because we share custody with Landon and the way that it flip flops back and forth, it's difficult for me to be able to be a part of it every single week. And so I'm trying to find a way, and I'm actually working with like AI to sort of like
Figure it out.
unpack my brain and then also create the activity. And that way it's an actual like booklet that we can work through. And that's something that I just think every boy needs to know. It's like how to change a tire and how to change the oil. Like, I mean, I actually joke around like this sometimes, but like I've had some younger clients, younger girl clients before, where you kind of get into the weeds a little bit about like they're going on a date or something, and like being the sort of the old man on the front porch, telling kids to get out of my front yard. I kind of give them unsolicited parental advice, and it's like, all right, listen, you go on this date with this guy, and you ask him one question. This is the first question you ask him, and I'll tell you how to proceed. So the first question is, do you know how to change your oil? And if they look at you like there's nobody home, then you need to get up and leave, because it's real easy. If homeboy don't know how to change his oil, he needs to figure that out before he goes to date you. Now, then, if he says yes, you say, could you teach me? And it's not that you need to learn. It's that he needs to have the heart of a servant and a teacher to teach you. And if he says no, then kick rocks. So I just think about that stuff, right? It's like I'm raising a son, and I'm trying to raise a good dude and a manly man, and like, who knows what's going to happen if you go down the rabbit hole too far. You know, the end of the world's coming in like 5 years, just in case you didn't know.
Hopefully it's like 5 days.
Well, it would be nice if Jesus came back today. But you know, it looks like a bleak future for the youngins. So you know, you just try to prepare them as much as you can, and honestly, like I'll talk about this. We've been looking for land for a while.
Where at?
And just here in the immediate area. Yeah, immediate area. And you know, ideally it would be cool to have like 40 acres. And we kind of talked about this, you and me, where it's like if you had a place where people could kind of come and heal, like, you know, you did that men's retreat, and like even my clients, like some of my clients, just they need a place to come and heal. And so like our vision is to get land, to build a barn dominium on it, maybe build, you know, a gym, and have like little mini houses or something where people could kind of come stay for a week or something, and you could kind of run. How cool would that be? Like, you could come down, you could stay in the little loft in the gym, and we run a seminar or something for a couple of days and train a couple people, and have them hang out in the woods, and I don't know, have a bunch of animals and stuff. I mean, but that's, you know, that's big planning, but that's aiming up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because like I think for
you're
me,
doing with your
like
business.
those are kind of the only things. I mean, like, and I think like fitness wise, there's really nothing. I mean, get in shape. I mean, me and Valley always.
I'm gonna pull you out of retirement. Before you know it, boy. Before you know it, bro, I'm gonna get you on stage.
Never again. You will never catch me again. But me and like my ultimate dream is I want to go on Survivor. That's my ultimate dream. And Valerie always tells me like let her train me to go on Survivor, because I don't want to, like, here's the thing, and this is crazy. I don't go in there and win. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be the villain everybody loves to hate, and they just enjoy it, because I can just imagine the scenes are gonna be hilarious. But you know what? The first thing I would do on that island is, if you pull me aside, hey guys, I'm just gonna take a second. They're gonna think I'm taking a poop. I just want to go to the island away from everybody. I just want to do the loudest, longest warrior scream and just let out all my stress of the last 31 years out.
I mean, honestly, you could probably do that in your backyard.
Well, so, you know what's funny? Valerie's dad was here the other day training. I was telling that to him, and we had the garage door open. I turned around and did it as loud as I could in the neighborhood, and it made her dad like jump and scare the shit out of him. But like those are like kind of the things like we're working on. But the main thing is just like the business stuff, because I do enjoy kind of the stuff what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can
It
tell.
just allows me to do something different.
It
It's
uses
still
a different
stressful.
part of your brain.
Yeah, it's not an emotional stress.
It's
not like,
creative for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just different. So that's kind of what it is. And then the goal is everything goes well, and maybe have a family, or I don't
Yeah.
know what that looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, and I think, you know, just so everybody knows, we're going to have guests here or there. We're going to have like a broad spectrum of people. We don't have particular people nailed down on times quite yet. But once we have that, and kind of, I'll actually advertise it, and everybody kind of knows who's coming when they're coming.
I think
And
we only
then,
have one, and it's on 16th.
yeah, yeah. So,
Hugh,
and yeah, Hugh, and he owns
you're nuts.
um, You're Nuts, and so it's a underwear company that's actually like uh, what healthy? Would you call it healthy clothes, where it doesn't like
Yeah, so it
give you
doesn't have
feed?
any of the like plastic or any of the artificial crap in
Hmm.
there. It's 100% merino wool. And if you
So
look into like
it's
what's in that material, like what it does to like men's fertility, what it does to testosterone levels, he's got some other stuff he's working on. I don't know if he'll talk about it on there. I can ask him, but
yeah,
it's some good stuff, and he cannot keep a stock at
and
all.
that's next week, right?
Week after next.
Okay, so we have him, and I'm working on two. I'm working on two to confirm dates, and both of those will be cool. And then we'll have topics randomly too, and I'll probably run some polls on all of our. I'll probably tag you and me and aiming up, and we'll just do a poll on what do you want to listen to next. And we're just really excited to have the opportunity to talk. I think Trey and I both kind of have a hope that it gets a little bigger, and not that we don't necessarily quit coaching altogether, but how cool would it be to just sit here and talk and have a good time and hang out with your friend?
Well, it just gives you something else. It's not even that coaching is bad. Like, it's just like
It's a tough job,
people don't
to
understand
be
how
fair.
like demanding it is mentally, and how at times you're almost like at times like some clients will treat you like absolute peasants. They will just treat you bad and disrespect you, and
Yeah,
it's tough. There's a lot you have to carry on as a coach that other people aren't
yeah.
realizing. It's not
I think
simply
it's
matter of
sharing
you.
the weight of someone else's life, and I think that can be really tough at times. And I don't know that like what I really love about my job is that we do make impacts. Like I've seen people's lives you've changed, and it's a big deal. And I know I've made an impact in a lot of people's lives too. But what's if you operate the way that I do, and I think Trey and I both are a little bit different. I'm such an empathetic person, so when it comes to being empathetic, that's what's hard is like I will take on some of the emotion of the client, not as bad as I used to. I've got good boundaries now, but when you see somebody win, you feel that win all the way to your core. And then also when you see somebody not winning or losing, and then what I would say is I don't know that it's losing, it's just not achieving what their potential is. It can really weigh on you, and because you feel responsible, because you look at your clients, and if you and this is going to be a topic I want to talk about too at some point. It's like sort of radical responsibility, and as men and masculine men having radical responsibility in our lives. So anybody that's in our charge, anybody that we're over or leading or guiding, it's our responsibility for them to to do what it is we're trying to get them to do, but also to have a better life. And so when you have that approach of sort of radical responsibility that I'm responsible for this person, even though their actions kind of dictate the outcome, it's still a heavy weight to sort of carry when things don't pan out the way it should or the way that you would want it to. So, but coaching still, I think we're both uniquely made for it in distinct ways. And I think I'll always do it, but it would be a whole lot more fun to just sit here and chat it up. And
Yeah, it just changes things a little bit. I
yeah,
mean,
so I'm excited about what's coming up, and put out the best episodes that we can. And I guess that's it. Is there anything you want to say?
I don't think. I think
Okay.
it doesn't say aiming up for us. It's be consistent with it, and that's not anyone's fault. I think you have stuff come up. I have. For me, it's always a calendar thing. It's like
Right. How
making
do
it
you fit it
work.
in?
But that's part of like that is part of why I'm looking at doing different things, because the way my calendar is set up right now, it's pretty chaotic. It doesn't allow that opportunity to take time off or do things, or like, you know what I mean? Our job just doesn't really always allow that. some people get it, some people don't. And I would
Yeah.
say that with us, that's like aiming up for us is just being consistent with this and just not following the herd of everyone else of how they do this type of
Yeah.
stuff.
And the last thing I'll say, just so everybody knows, I'm some two weeks out from my show. My wife came to me the other day, and as wonderful she is, she found this Airbnb for us to go get away in the mountains, which is like I love going to the mountains. So I'm actually going to be working next week, but I'm going to be working in a different location in the mountains, and so we're going to try to figure out if we're going to do a podcast episode, what it is, all that stuff. We'll work that out. And but in the meantime, we're rolling up on the weekend pretty hard, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. And I'll have it posted today.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
yep. See ya.
See ya.